Wikipedia Top 25 Report, Most Popular Wikipedia Articles of the Week, August 15 to 21, 2021. Rank 1. Taliban. Rank 2. Afghanistan. Rank 3. Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan. Good news, the United States' war in Afghanistan is over, after 20 years of bloody, expensive occupation. Bad news, the United States forgot to do any nation building. As the US pulled out its troops, the Taliban, Islamist terrorists, aka the antagonists of 2000's American culture, removed during the invasion of 2001 took power over the weekend with little resistance. American President Joe Biden has come under fire from everybody in Washington, including the former president that had started the withdrawal. Once the Taliban took Kabul, they effectively reinstated the government that existed from 1996 to 2001. The old government was notoriously repressive of women and blew up some really big Buddha statues before getting ousted by the Americans. However, this new government have styled themselves as Taliban 2.0 and seem keen to tell the world that they intend to be less extreme this time around. Not that many believe them. Rank 4. Sean Locke. This British comedian died this week, aged 58. He once joked that NASA killed Michael Jackson. What made it so funny was his delivery, something for which he was well known. Locke also appeared frequently on panel shows, most famously 8 out of 10 Cats. Rank 5. Ashraf Ghani. Afghanistan's president since 2014, who had been helping the nation rebuild ever since the invasion, fled the country the same day of the Taliban's hostile takeover. There are claims that Ghani's departure uncovered his embezzlement of funds. Rank 6. Vikram Batra. Going a little south of Afghanistan, India, who is only remembering a war through Shershaah, a film based on this captain's service in the Kargil War, released to Amazon on August 12. Rank 7. Fall of Kabul, 2021. Rank 8. 2021 Taliban Offensive. One of the most retrograde governments in recent history, number 3, was forcibly removed from Afghanistan after the Battle of Tora Bora in 2001, but in 2003 started to reorganize itself and try to get back into power. The Americans signed with them a peace treaty agreeing to remove its troops last year, which only served to fuel the insurrection that now took over capital Kabul and will reinstate Taliban. Rank 9. Hibatullah Akhundzada. Number 1's current leader. Rank 10. War in Afghanistan, 2001 to 2021. US forces give the nod, it's a setback for your country. After Osama bin Laden and Al-Qaeda claimed responsibility for the 9/11 attacks, George W. Bush started the war on terror and sent hell loose on number 2, where said terrorist group was given refuge. Number 1 were trying to solve things, but that would have required to stop the bombings that eventually escalated to their removal. And in a much more controversial affair, to the next step in the war on terror, Iraq, who were controversially invaded on Bush's orders even if the country had nothing to do with terrorists, yet, afterwards, soldiers from all nations of NATO remained there to help the country rebuild and contain a Taliban insurgency until their withdrawal this year, leading to all this recent turmoil. Rank 11. Deaths in 2021. We sick and tired of a Eurism schism game. Dyin' and goin' to heaven in a Jesus name, Lord. Rank 12. The Suicide Squad film. More Americans invading foreign countries. Though at least it's a case that gets us entertained instead of exasperated, the troops are weird criminals, including 2 psychos, an insane shrink, a fish man, a woman attached to rodents, and a guy with a weird rash, and instead of weapons of mass destruction, there's a vengeful alien. And unlike most wars, public opinion is positive, the only issue being getting people to leave their homes to watch this. Rank 13. Abdul Ghani Baradar. Rank 14. Mohammed Omar. 2 Taliban, number 1, founders. Omar was the one who ruled Afghanistan after the group turned it into a fundamentalist state, number 3, up until it was taken down by the Americans, and also led the insurrection against NATO forces until he died in 2013 of tuberculosis. Baradar, pictured here, held various jobs during that government, was captured by the CIA in 2010, released 8 years later to serve in Taliban's diplomatic office, and is expected to be the Afghan president following the new Taliban takeover. Rank 15. The White Lotus. HBO finished the 6-episode season of this comedy drama show set in a resort, and already renewed things for a second season. Rank 16. Free Guy. Another movie, with a less traditional war zone, a Grand Theft Auto Online-like game, where a non-playable character played by Ryan Reynolds suddenly grows agency. Inventive and funny, Free Guy finally hit theaters after various pandemic-forced delays, getting positive reviews and topping the box office. Rank 17. Beckett, film. More foreign unrest. Although in the old world, in this Netflix release, where John David Washington is the subject of a manhunt in Greece. Rank 17. Shershaah. And for a movie with a real war for a change, namely one that happened 2 years before number 15, in another mountainous territory that, like number 2, is known for attracting conflict, Kashmir, that took the life of number 6, Vikram Batra. Rank 19. Al-Qaeda. And back to Afghanistan, namely the ones who led the Americans to invade the country 20 years ago, number 10, after attacking New York and Washington with 3 planes, almost 4. The peace treaty agreeing to remove troops was done hoping Taliban would contain Al-Qaeda in the country, but whether this goes through is to be seen. Rank 20. Hamid Karzai. After the Taliban was ousted, this guy became the president of Afghanistan, remaining there until number 5's election. While back in the day Karzai had feuds with the Taliban, even leading his tribe against them once the Americans came, he has patched things, and the Taliban have met him following the fall of Kabul seeking to form a government. Rank 21. Osama bin Laden. The founder of Al-Qaeda, number 19, was already on the FBI's most wanted after bombing embassies when he shot atop that list following September 11, 2001. He evaded capture by fleeing to neighbor Pakistan and lived in a fortified home before SEAL Team 6 raided it and shot Osama dead in 2011. Rank 22. Islamic Republic of Afghanistan. After a government that ruled over only 10% of Afghanistan once number 3 was effectively in power, came this, that stood from 2002 to the hostile takeover of last week, under number 20 and number 5. Vice President Amrullah Saleh has stated he will lead an armed resistance against number 1. Rank 23. Sharia. Religious law according to Islamic tradition. Given the late 20th century saw the rise of people who interpreted it for either terrorism, number 20, or fundamentalism, number 1, number 3, it is a very controversial topic. Rank 24. Soviet-Afghan War. YouTube could have gotten this position, but better just discuss the storied tradition of countries invading Afghanistan and coming out the worst of it. The last one prior to the US and NATO, number 10, war in Afghanistan, with the Soviets starting in 1979, which even marred the following year's Olympics, and unwillingly leading to the rise of both number 1 and number 19, as the Mujahideen who resisted the Soviets, some of whom are pictured to the left with Ronald Reagan, included number 13, number 14, and number 21. Rank 25. Fall of Saigon. To finish this off, another time where the Asians who had fought a war with the United States took over the country's capital. Vietnam have been fairly well ever since, ranking among the 25 biggest economies. Don't know if the same will apply to Afghanistan. Between rough physical geography, many turn to opium to make a living, and that political instability that is often helped by propension to attract conflict, see above. Thank you for listening to this reading of the most popular Wikipedia articles of the week. If you enjoyed this video, Please click that like button and subscribe to our channel so you can be notified whenever I make a new video. I'd love to hear your comments and suggestions on what else to feature. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.